Tired of giving up on your routines when motivation fades? Let's uncover the raw truth behind self-discipline as I share my personal low points and the secrets that help me push through. For years, I saw self-discipline as an unattainable virtue, a trait that other people seem to possess effortlessly. In this video, I'll reveal my personal challenges with discipline, where I stumbled, and the simple tactics that finally changed the game for me. When every day felt like a fresh promise but ended with frustration, I began wondering, is self-discipline something you are born with or you can build it? Self-discipline. It's a phrase that used to taunt me, something I admired in high achievers yet failed to replicate. With every grand idea or a project, I would leave it half done, giving up very early on. Let me walk you through 3 key acts of my journey. I have vivid memories of grand to-do lists: get fit, read a book a week, or learn Spanish. I would start strong, full of zeal, only to give up in few days. Each time I quit, a voice whispered, "See, you are not built for discipline." My insecurities fed on these missteps. I compared myself to naturally disciplined friends who hammered out daily tasks as if it were the second nature. Then I realized the emotional drain, the guilt of letting myself down, that was heavier than the actual effort required to keep going. That was a painful wake-up call. My cycle of starting big and collapsing was stalling my growth. A turning point arrived when a mentor told me, base discipline on habits and micro routines. Don't rely on epic leaps or fleeting passion. Just do 5 minutes a day, no excuses. It sounded almost too small, but I was desperate enough to try. Over time, those 5-minute tasks anchored deeper habits. Another thing I discovered, I had to minimize friction, so I cleared distractions, set phone notifications off, and kept only immediate tasks visible. If I'd known 5 years ago that consistent tiny steps overshadow bursts of big ambitions, I might have saved myself countless regrets, because each small success gave me a little taste of the victory that fueled me for the next day. Suddenly the path didn't feel impossible, it felt way more straightforward. Let me be specific. I started with a short morning plan. Wake up, drink a glass of water, go for a walk, and set one big goal for the day. That routine was so slight that I had no reason to skip it. The first week I felt silly doing so little, but the second week I would realize that I never missed a day, and that built up the confidence. Over months I added tasks gradually, like a 10-minute workout for example. I overcame slip-ups by not pushing myself mentally, just resetting the next day. The emotional payoff, I felt less chaotic, more in control, and for the first time, I believed that I could keep a promise to myself. Those mini routines eventually bled into bigger successes, finishing projects I used to only talk about, staying consistent in health, and building a more resilient mindset overall. I learned that resilience and discipline are nothing more than the ability to show up, and that to ensure it works, build a system around it so that there is no reason for you not to do something. Hardest was forgiving myself for repeated failures, but that act of gentleness ironically made discipline easier to maintain. I've learned self-discipline can be grown like a muscle. Let's outline how you can apply these insights. Start by pinpointing one weak spot. Maybe you keep skipping your daily meditation or daily workout and never stick to a reading goal. Zero in on that singular area. Then set a simple daily goal. Minuscule, perhaps 3 minutes of mindful breathing or 2 pages of reading, so small that you can't rationalize skipping it. Find an accountability anchor, a friend or even a digital reminder who checks in weekly, because external nudges really help you stay accountable. Finally, forgive slip-ups. If you miss a day, shake it off. Aim to resume tomorrow. Perfection isn't the goal, the consistency is. Test this for just 1 week. You might discover that building discipline is gentler than you think once you break it into tiny, unwavering steps. My biggest takeaway? Self-discipline isn't about punishing yourself into submission. It's about forging daily mini habits that let you show up consistently. If you felt like discipline is out of reach, consider building from the smallest step. Over time, these tiny routines rewrite your self-image from someone who can't stick with it to someone who quietly, steadily achieves. It's never too late to start being that person.